Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The Wellness and Food Radio Show. Look ahead, even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacqueline connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacqueline.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome. Happy Friday or happy Saturday, wherever you are in the world. I am so excited to start my day off with you. What an honor and a privilege. You are watching USA Global TV or listening on Business Talk Radio. And our show this morning is Life's Amazing Journey. And I have to say, what an incredible journey it's been for me. Yesterday, I went to the eye doctor. I got a good report. And I thought to myself, you know, we take these things for granted and you get one piece of news that could change your life in an incredible way. And I thought, I'm so blessed that I haven't been to an eye doctor in maybe 3 years and it was all good news. So never take anything for granted. And I'm not taking you for granted. So thank you so much for being here. My co-host and star of our show, John Christian, is also here. He is an international celebrity entertainer, mastery coach, and guess what? Just an all-around really nice guy. Let's bring him out.
You're so kind.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. I'm a little bit tired. I was saying earlier because I've just been to the gym and we did a really tough body pump workout. She really worked us, so my muscles are going, oh my God.
Sounds so wonderful. I missed that. I mentioned backstage that this was day 3. I haven't had a workout, but hopefully I'll get there tonight after the program. So it's great that you're pumped up because we love to see that a guy who's pumped up and has a great voice and is handsome and he's really nice. So what else could you ask for?
Thank you.
I left you speechless. Oh, John, I would love for you to share just a little bit with our audience about the work that you do because you're really so multifaceted and talented in so many areas. So I'm going to spotlight you and just share a little bit about who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I sing, act, coach, speak, do a combination of things. I've also been trained as a therapist and a yoga teacher. So over the years, I have quite a few things in my book to fall back on, martial arts as well. And most of my work nowadays is either in film or I'm coaching, as I just mentioned. And last few days, I've been doing therapy massage for people from the gym. Actually asking, oh John, I've got a really painful neck, can you just work on it for a minute? So I end up with a line in the gym at times doing massage. But in between I've been up and down to London doing film castings, so waiting for results on those too. And I'm moving, as some of you know. So I'm in the middle of packing up as well, ready for my next adventure.
It's a shame you don't have anything going on, John. It's amazing. You're so busy. By the way, my neck is killing me. I wish you could help me with my neck. Can you just reach your hand?
That's what they say to me in the gym, John.
Well, as I mentioned, you are incredibly talented, and I'm really honored that you are going to perform something for us today.
Thank you. Well, this was a request actually from one of our guests recently, Sarah Grant. It's one of her favorite songs, and it's a Garth Brooks number, so you guys know it on that side of the ocean, country touch, but it's romantic and, touches the heart.
Oh, I'll try not to swoon or cry over here.
Me too.
And hello to Sarah. Thank you so much for making the request. By the way, I saw the two of you together on Facebook. That was a nice little video that you took.
Oh, really?
And I thought, I love it when you actually see people together in person as opposed to being on a screen. So that was really lovely.
Yeah, that was fun because we're both, Sarah had just gone up for her first ever modeling casting job, and I got called back in for one. So we were both in town at the same time. As you know, it was actually at the time when the show should have been on, and I couldn't do last week's show because of that casting call. So yeah, we met up for a coffee and we were just having a good crack, as you saw on Facebook.
I did see that. That was nice. All right, I'm going to spotlight you, and everybody who's out there watching on the live right now, we'd love to hear from you. So feel free to put some comments wherever you're watching. I'm sure John would love it.
Yeah, just be nice. Okay, there it goes. This is If Tomorrow Never Comes. And you have to bear with the sound that we get, limited sound through singing through a laptop, unfortunately. So here we go. Well, sometimes late at night, I lie awake and watch her sleeping. She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the light, lay there in the dark. Then a thought crosses my mind. If I never waken in the morning, would she ever doubt the way I feel about her in my heart? If tomorrow never comes, would she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one? And if my time on earth were through, could she live this life without me? Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? 'Cause I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much they meant to me. Now I live with the regret that my true feelings for them never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself to say each day how much she means to me, to avoid the circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. If tomorrow never comes, would she know how much I loved her? Did I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one? And if my time on earth was through, could she live this life without me? Is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? So tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. Sound like my audience nowadays, as nobody can come out.
Woo! Excellent, John. That was really beautiful. I was singing. I was on mute singing with you back here. So, and our guest backstage is cheering. So, I'm excited to bring her out as well. How are you feeling, John?
Oh, Sorry, I'm very good, thank you. I like that song myself. Actually, I really enjoy singing it.
It is a beautiful song. It is.
Garth
And you,
Brooks is a good artist. He's a very good artist. Or as you know, he's very popular in America, isn't he? He's
yes, he definitely is. So
massive, I
thank you.
think.
He's pretty big. He's pretty big, but
Yeah.
you're lighting up our stage and our screen today. So that's what really matters.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So I want to bring out our guest. I had the pleasure of interviewing her. I think it was last week. You know, time just goes so quickly. She's nodding her head backstage. Yes. So her name is Haley Parker, and she's joining us from Australia. And when I had her on the show last week, and it was in the middle of the night. The poor thing she was all dressed and ready for the interview. So I'm glad that we can bring her out. She's got quite an amazing journey herself. So I'm going to bring her out and we'll talk to her about that. Her role is Miss Regal World. Hi, welcome, Haley Parker. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. It's great to be back and get to chat again. I love it.
Yes, it is. I was very taken with you during our first interview, and I just thought, let's bring you back and let's dive a little bit deeper into what you're doing. So when I interviewed you last week, we were talking about your incredible role as Miss Regal World. And of course, like John, who has so many talents, so do you. So let's really get into it. Let's start off with your title as Miss Regal World, what that means and how you feel about it.
Absolutely. So I hope I'm not a Jill of all trades and master of nothing, but, you know, we try. But no, my beautiful title, which I've actually got my sash over here behind me, and I'll show you because it's too pretty not to show, but I've got my lovely
yes, put it on.
They'll be happy. But yes, it's a super, super exciting, overwhelming, crazy whirlwind of a time that I've been having. I just went into this pageant to give it a go. Thought I'd, just flying blind, give it a shot, and walked into it and walked out with the title, which was just the most crazy thing. And over and above that, walked out with Best in Speech, which was a lovely little cherry on top for the entire thing. And really, to me, the Best in Speech part was just amazing because I didn't do anything but speak from the heart, and it was all genuine. And it just made me feel so validated to have something like that happen. So Miss Regal World is an international online pageant that was born kind of out of the pandemic with our lovely director, Victoria, who I think you've interviewed a few times as well. And it's just an incredible platform for women to empower each other and really speak your mind. And for someone like myself, who's quite passionate about what I do in two different sides of performing arts and education as my platforms, and represent charities and just be a philanthropic human being and use something like this to really put it out there, which has been incredible. And then I've gone on to actually now enter my next pageant, which will be in January, which is I'm a national finalist for Miss Premier Elite, which will be an Australian pageant. So I'm actually quite excited about that. The director, Renata, has brought me on board, and she's really excited for me to experience a face-to-face pageant and something really on the ground that I can sink my teeth into as well, which will be an incredible experience.
Well done. Oh, great.
Yes, brilliant.
I went in a beauty competition as well. I came second. A pig won it.
At least it had lipstick on. What were we going to say? I don't know. No. Second is the first loser, John. So I'm a little bit upset about it.
You are.
Just kidding. We are all winning. We are all winning.
We were talking a little before the show about how the pandemic has really impacted a number of people in the performing arts in Australia. And so since you're both in the performing arts, let's dig into that a little bit.
It's been a very interesting time. So it was a whirlwind for me because I actually gave birth to my second child 3 days before we went into lockdown here in Australia. So I was kind of on a hiatus anyway with work and winding things down. And then I had Bub, and it almost felt like after that first lockdown, everybody was so scared and so panicked about work and keeping things going that it's almost exploded. And the pandemic's actually been an incredible thing here for the performing arts and created an amazing amount of local work for artists and in all realms. And look, it's changed a lot of other things, like with my ballet teaching. I teach for the Royal Academy of Dance syllabus, and we enter students for exams, and they usually fly out examiners, obviously from London or from over East in Australia, and that's now become impossible. So we've actually had to go onto video platforms for exams and film them, and it's been a very different experience for all of us. And also kind of sad, because I think that real person-to-person experience with those sort of things is important. I also have not been able to travel with my talents and my skills, and that's also been really difficult. And in fact, just the July prior to the pandemic hitting, it was interesting that I went to China to teach ballet for a bit. And I went to Shenyang there to a ballet academy. They brought me across as a guest teacher, and I went to go teach. And I was there, and they offered me a 2-year contract to relocate my family to come and teach ballet there permanently.
Wow.
They were going to put us up. And they were incredible. They were just beautiful people, so welcoming, so inviting. They were going to put my kids in the best private schools and everything, and just so good to us. And then I came home to report back to hubby and tell him the great news. And of course, boom, we went into a lockdown and the pandemic hit and everything changed. So there's been so many good and bad, and I'm sure I'm not the only person with crazy stories about their lives in the pandemic. But what's now happened in Perth has been really interesting, that there's been a lot of spring up of new production companies, and a lot of people who we're on the West End or we're on Broadway and we're all over the world, who've now come home to be with family from wherever they were, are sitting here twiddling their thumbs, not being able to leave because our borders are really shut tight currently. And they've gone, you know what, let's make our own work. So that's what they've decided to do and what they have done. And I am now obviously part of one of those production companies who are now putting on an incredible show at the Regal Theatre, and I'm going to get to be a part of all of that. So pros and cons for so many things and for so many people. So it's been crazy. I don't know about you, John, but I'm sure that there's been some stories your side as well.
Yeah, so many. The film industry is picking up again here now. I must say that's been surprising over the last few weeks. So that's good. The theatre is still struggling, you know. Friends Zara, that was on the show earlier with us, who's leading Mamma Mia, she's just got back into the show again. So they're in Dubai at the moment, performing Mamma Mia over there. Nobody on the show as well when they come back.
With her via Messenger, because it's funny you mention it, but that's the show I've just been cast in here. We're doing Mamma Mia as well, and I'm playing Rosie. So would you believe? Yes, so exciting. So we connected, and we were just saying what an honor it is and how absolutely blessed we are to be able to be on stage and have audiences to perform.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of places where capacity is just not a thing, and you just cannot have audiences.
It was really funny the other day, because there was 4 of us all in the front of Body Pump at the gym, and we were all performers from the West End.
Oh wow!
I said, oh God, what a lineup! You know, which is, you can tell the ones that are always on the stage because we're at the front.
And everyone harmonize.
I love that. Haley, we had talked backstage about the fact that you might be able to perform for us, and if that's the case, then I'll take us to commercial break and we'll come back and lead in with that. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's great. I'll absolutely do that. I'm just going to get my backtrack up and I'll test it during the commercial break and see how we go.
Perfect.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Since we are talking about performing, I'm going to play 2 music videos. And the first one is from my vocal coach, who I'm so excited to have met here on this platform, USA Global TV. Her name is Madeline Chan. And then we're going to hear from the lovely Victoria and Lavinia, the debutantes. Paradise is their song. So let's start with Madeline Chan, and then we'll go to Paradise, and we'll be right back. Stay with us here on USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio.
By your love, what you give me is just not enough. I need a love to take me higher and higher and higher. Every step I take, I feel more awake. Getting closer now, I feel so alive. Stopping me, this is how I live. Ever closer now. Just follow love. Love will take you there. Just follow love. Follow me. Just follow love. Love will take you there. Just follow love. Follow me. Follow love.
Of Murderers Row, matron Mama Morton.
Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. Got a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama good to you. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, spice it up for mama, she'll get hard for you. When they pass the basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks on top the ladder are the ones the world adore. So boost me up my ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
Love it.
Fly.
Love it.
Love it. Fantastic. Excuse me. I was watching Chicago last night. Excuse me.
Amazing. One of the most incredible shows, and just an amazing show to be a part of. It's just so sexy and so meaty and fun, and I love the comedy mixed with the serious nature of it. There's just so many elements to the show and so many elements to the character, and I just had a blast playing her. So yeah, one of my favorite songs.
We're so blessed in our lives to be able to explore ourselves in so many ways like that. You learn so much about yourself and life, right?
You really do. And I actually feel like I've got better and better every year with age and life experience, because they go hand in hand. Yeah. I learn from the characters, but I also learn from life, and I bring that to the stage. So it's just this beautiful marriage that we carry with us as we go through performing, isn't it?
Real
and
life
I think
skills.
The changes for you, because you say you're in film a lot more now, and they're two such different worlds as well, the film industry and the stage industry. So it's incredible, the two different things.
Yes.
How about how lucky we are to have both of you perform today? Is that amazing? I mean, incredible. I
feel a duet coming on. I do.
And by the way, Haley, I love the way you perform that, your facial expressions and your body movements. Really, that was a great part for you.
Thank you very much. And yes, and that's what I love about the theater. I can just be bigger than myself. And it's just the one place I've always felt safe, loved, nurtured, and happy. I mean, we've all been through our trials and difficult times. And, you know, I'm a heavier set woman, so I like playing the character roles where I feel like I fit into that. But I also feel like the theater, and actually even the dance studio where I've done ballet, which is interesting because ballet usually body-wise is the opposite to what I am. But I honestly feel like I have never been so wrapped up in love and appreciation and validation than I have in the world of performing arts. And I know there's a lot of people who haven't. So I'm actually quite lucky to have felt only the best parts of it, and to really just be lifted up as a woman, and as, you know, like I say, a curvy woman and a mother, and now getting into the mature years. You know, I say that, and I'm not old, I know. Okay. Older, we're getting there.
What are some of the most important things you feel you've learned about yourself through the arts?
I have absolutely number one, which I like to and hope to pass on to my daughters, is resilience. And I think that's always been something for me in the arts. I actually always say, rather than being a performance artist, I'm a professional auditioner, because that's pretty much what we have to become.
True.
And it's so true. And you have to become so good at that job that they want to pick you and have to pick you. But at the same time, I feel like I've been knocked back so many times, and just got back up again and tried again.
Yeah.
And in a way, I think that that's one of the reasons I've been so successful, because I kept going back to those castings. I've kept going back to the auditions, and they eventually get so sick of my face, they have to put me in their show or I'm not going away.
Yeah.
So resilience is key, ladies and gentlemen. Make them you, and they will put you in the show.
It's those kind of skills that I offer in my training programs now, because because it's made me realize it's actually like you. We've been so blessed to have a life. For me, it's the real school of real life skills in self-exploration and learning to be confident. And so many of the people that I work with, the absolute terror that comes in, that I think we probably knew in the early days and have learned to deal with. And they stop at that point, so they don't go forward. They miss that resilience of going forward, which is a shame. So,
and it's funny that you say, the fear and the terror. I mean, I don't think you ever lose some of the nerves and the fear, but I think you also learn to master it.
Yes, and you learn to manage it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, I know. Every day when I broadcast, I'm always nervous. The first show, I'm always nervous. And you have to keep moving forward. Sometimes I'm sweating. I'm so nervous, right? But you just have to keep going.
Absolutely. And I even get nervous for this, just kind of talking, because usually we have to learn a script. So this is pretty scary. Just to be yourself and be accepted for that. What is this? I'm usually a character. I can put a mask on.
Yeah, exactly.
And it must be a really hard job, actually. Broadcasting, I think, both my parents were journalists, interestingly enough. So I think broadcasting would be something really quite intimidating, because it's on the fly, thinking on your feet, and it's a performance art all on its own, completely, because it's the mastery of improv, I would say.
Yes, I would agree with you. And sometimes the technology doesn't cooperate, and there's nothing you can do. You're just sitting there with your face looking all twisted. But I want to talk about something that you mentioned that's, I think, exceptionally important and interesting. That I heard you say that you just had a child right before the pandemic.
Yes, so she's now 18 months old. So it was literally the start of the pandemic last year in February when it all hit. I gave birth to a beautiful baby number 2, which was my daughter Maribel. So I've got a 6-year-old who's Maisie, and Maribel, who's now 18 months. And it's been an interesting journey, because I've definitely seen the impacts of the pandemic on her socially, and how different it's been for her than it has been for my older daughter. And especially as such a social butterfly myself, and, a big personality, their dad is the complete opposite, but I think they have to be, don't they? I mean, we can't have 2 people. I mean, I pretty much got 10 people in my body. So in this way, he's dealing with more than one wife on a daily basis. But the poor man. But he's surrounded by women, even our dog's female, but I don't think he'd have it any other way. But I've noticed that she is so much more clingy, so much more shy, very weary of other people, because it's really been her and I for 18 months, and so I've actually, because I'm about to start rehearsals for Mamma Mia full time from October. So Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, it's going to be big days. And I've been trying to get her into daycare, and it is proving to be a nightmare with the separation anxiety. So we're actually looking at hubby having to take off work for the rehearsal weeks to look after her, because I just don't think she's going to cope. So it's affected all of us. It certainly has, in so many ways that we couldn't imagine, I suppose.
Yeah.
Pretty scary.
Wow, that's something that you wouldn't ordinarily think about. Someone that young being impacted, but thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Abdominal breathing really helps with the anxiety. As we train for singing.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever done yoga or anything like that, or martial arts.
I did briefly, and actually I'm glad you mentioned it, because I was going to quiz you and see if yoga really supports your performing arts.
Absolutely.
As a craft. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've run a parallel life between performing and seeking to understand consciousness and our spiritual nature. So I've spent a lot of time with yogis and spiritual masters and indigenous people. And the most important things I found really at the end of the day is breathing properly. When we go into stress and fear, we go straight into the head and we're not in the body, we're not energizing the body and breathing, so immediately we feel worse. So if you can help your daughter, I was helping a child yesterday actually with the same thing. She's in Australia as well.
Maybe it's an Australian thing.
With stress. We were doing a Skype till 2 o'clock in the morning, getting her to breathe abdominal. But and she was just wonderful. She said, "Oh, that's how you do. Oh, that feels so different." You know, so it's just helping them to breathe into the tummy, abdominal breathing, they call it.
Absolutely, yes. So I think it was something I learned at drum school is abdominal press and rib reserve. It's kind of you breathe down and out and expand around, and it fills the body. And it just opens up all the chakras, and it all flow and does what it needs to do.
Absolutely. You just have to repeat it. And that's, you know, for a child, is getting them to, in the beginning, enjoy it, so they'll want to repeat it for at least 10 or 15 minutes.
That's really interesting.
My mantra that I give them is,
my kids are very anxious children. So, I mean, like I say, I probably stress them out on a daily basis. I'm a little bit stressful. But
well, you have to breathe properly too.
I do. And I do forget about it. And when I'm rushing around and a billion things on, because I'm choreographing another musical at the moment as well, Wizard of Oz, I'm busy choreographing that. And it's a youth group, interestingly enough, that I'm choreographing for. And I do find we all get quite highly strung. There she is. Beautiful. Thank you, Jacqueline. It's a lovely show that's going on at the Don Russell here in Perth as well. And we decided to do a whole youth production of Wizard of Oz with Laughing Horse Productions here. And just a beautiful bunch of kids and a great crew that I'm working with. I've got Crispin, who's the MD, Rachel, who's director there, and the lovely Mishka, who's on stage management. And a beautiful bunch of folks in the background as well, like Christy and Luke and that, who are all supporting us. And it's just been this big team effort. But I will say to you that you mentioned breathing, and a lot of them aren't doing that properly. And when we're rehearsing, they're so nervous and the tension builds. You can hear them singing from the throat. So I might try some breathing exercises with them for warm-ups this week.
Fantastic. It's imperative. Yeah, when I'm working with the kids that are doing shows, I just give them a little mantra: breathe, relax, enjoy. So I get them repeating that, and then we sing it.
Breathe, relax, enjoy.
You know, and it brings them.
I'm stealing it, John. It's
Listen, you're welcome. Just tell them where you got it from.
I will, absolutely. And in fact, they're probably all going to watch this, if not some of them watching it right now. So hopefully they will see that, and then they can employ that as well, and the parents as well.
Yeah, we should set up a Zoom and we'll teach them how to do it together.
See that? Wow.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, done deal.
I love it how you're connecting and helping each other. That's great. That's
Haley. Just shut beautiful Dr. Jacqueline out of the picture here, and we're having a whole combo.
That's okay. I'm just doing the production today. That's fine. No, I'm kidding. Haley, I want to put this back up. Can you let our viewers and our listeners know how they can actually watch this production?
Absolutely. So The Wizard of Oz is on at the Don Russell Performing Arts Centre, and that's in Thornley in Perth, Western Australia. And you can actually just head to the Laughing Horse Productions page, and the ticket link will be on there. So you just Google Laughing Horse Productions Perth, and it will come up with the Wizard of Oz, and you can purchase tickets to come and watch our show. It's starting on the 1st of October, so that's really exciting. Close.
Thank you so much. And we have some other pictures I'm just going to spotlight for a moment, and share with us, if you would, a little background on the pictures.
Absolutely. So this one I was invited to perform actually as a guest artist in a little kind of variety show here in Perth. And they wanted me to have a bunch of young up-and-coming dancers back me up while I sang Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and of course did my Marilyn thing. And the dress was custom made. It was made off of the original and beautiful, even had the big bow at the back. Absolutely stunning costume. I've still got it hanging in my wardrobe. So that was fantastic. Great experience.
That is stunning. Can I tell you that I have a Barbie doll that is the Marilyn with the same dress, and I put her on the Christmas tree every year.
So jealous. I love Barbie. She's my girl. This is me playing Ursula from Little Mermaid. So it was another variety show here in Perth, put on and directed by a lady named Kirsten Long. And she asked me, we actually did a little villains song that I think was a Todrick Hall piece, because it was kind of a play on the villains. And she just said, you have to come and be Ursula for me. And I'm like, of course I'm saying yes. Ultimate character. So that was all. The hoop on that dress was something epic, but a beautiful costume.
It's very pretty.
Yes. So this was Mama Morton in Chicago that we've got up here. So it's me singing my little lungs out. That was at the Mandra Theatre with Caitner Productions. I think it was must have been about 2.5 years ago now, almost. That was my favorite role to date. But of course, I've yet to do Mamma Mia and put it on stage. So we'll see. Watch this space.
There are the photographs we have for today. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to just ask you a question about the ballet side of your life.
Yes, absolutely.
I haven't done a lot around ballet myself, but I know you guys have to train so hard.
It's been a lifelong journey and a lifelong love for ballet. Yeah. So I started ballet when I was 3. I actually went to watch in South Africa, where I was born. My mom took me to my first ballet at the age of 3, which was Swan Lake, and which was a very mature ballet for a young girl, because it is quite an epic classic ballet. But she took me along and I was in love, hooked from the minute I saw that, begged to do lessons, and never stopped dancing since the age of 3. So I did ballet all the way through, and then decided to do obviously a degree in the performing arts eventually. And then I went back to do my RAD, the Royal Academy of Dance registration. I did my ballet teacher's studies through the RAD, which was a 2-year full-time course. And I ended up actually being able to go to London for my graduation, which was phenomenal. And I met Darcy Bustle. She shook my hand and gave me my parchment and everything. She's just the most stunning human being. And it was quite a surreal moment for me. And I've met so many incredible people. I even met Lee Shwan Singh, who is Mao's last dancer, the real man. And I managed to shake his hand. He signed my pointe shoes for me. And I've just been able to connect. And then over and above that, now as a teacher of ballet, to be able to share that joy. And it is really just something that is so connected in the sinews of my heart. And I feel like I just want to give that back to the world, because it's given me discipline, passion, etiquette, responsibility. And, you know, so many facets of my life have come from ballet. And it's built this world, and I am now part of a network of people across the world, which then got me to places like China and even Australia now to teach, and of course London and all over the place. I've been able to take that qualification, and I've actually, just after my last interview with Jacqueline, would you believe, incredibly, been invited to go and volunteer to teach dance to some children, some underprivileged children in Tanzania. Wow. So that's yes, I know. Phenomenal. So I am incredibly excited. It's from a previous queen with Miss Regal World. She contacted me and asked if I would like this opportunity. And I said, when the borders open, I am there. So I'm hoping that allows me to do that soon. So dance has just taken me everywhere and continues to do that for me. And ballet will forever be a part of my fabric of being, no doubt.
How did the concept of the pointe shoes come in, and what happens to your toes when you're up like that all the time?
Right? It's incredible. So it's literally just the shape of the shoe. You can actually even see it here behind me. There is nothing inside there. It's the shape of the shoe. And depending on the shoe, it's usually made by wood and paste. They were initially brought out from revolving around the Romantic era with ballets like La Sylphide. They wanted something to look surreal on the stage. They had a lot of kind of elf and fairy-like dancers on stage and all these woodland kind of fairy creatures. And they wanted them to flutter and look like they were floating on stage. And they said, well, the best way to do that is put them on their toes. So they created the first set of pointe shoes. And I think it was Marie Taglioni was one of the first ballet dancers to dance on pointe in the ballet. And they were initially just really hard darned shoes. So they darned lots of layers and the ladies just rose up on their toes for split seconds and danced across the stage. But now, of course, they are engineered. They are handmade. Every single pair is handmade by a shoemaker around the world. And they're in just incredible shoes and so many new design shapes and kinds, and all of them still hurt.
Yeah.
I always thought that there was a piece of wood in there.
Yeah,
I
so
know
did
a
I.
lot of people think that, funnily enough. You say
Yeah, I
that.
thought that.
But yeah, if you actually look inside the shoe, there is absolutely nothing.
Wow.
It's just the shape of the shoe. I mean, it's hard. It's solid, but it is literally, the shoe is shaped. And you wear some people wear padding. You can wear some like lamb's wool and a little bit of padding if you're getting friction. But eventually, like myself, I have very little feeling left in my toes, and they're not very attractive. But you know what? I wear it like a badge of honor, and I am so proud of my hideous feet because they have walked many lives in this one lifetime.
Yeah, really.
Can I get
Yeah. Talk about an amazing journey. That's incredible. We've got a couple of comments. Hi, Anthony. Nice to have you with us today. She writes, so inspiring.
Oh, that's very
And
kind.
also we have something else. Let's see. Great work as always, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Well, thank you, Facebook user. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
very much so.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we've actually come to the end of our show. It's hard to believe. And Haley, we'll have to have you back again because you're just so multifaceted. It's incredible. I'm going to spotlight you, and if we are running your banner, but for people who are listening on the radio who can't read it, what is the best way for people to get in touch with you, and who should get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So, of course, anybody who's interested in dance, singing, musical theater, performing arts, or just wants to talk and maybe see a bit more about my background, you're welcome to head over to my Instagram page. It is open, so I'm at Superstar HPC on Instagram. You can also see me at Miss Regal World on Instagram as well, or head to the Miss Regal World website, which you can Google. And if you want to check out my background and my resume or CV online, you can head to starnow.com.au/Haley Parker. And if you wanted to see me in Mamma Mia in Perth, which is coming up this October at the Regal Theatre in Subiaco, you can head to the ticketek.com.au website and go and purchase some tickets there. And I'd love to see you in the audience, and come find me afterwards so you can high five me. I'd love that.
Thank you so much. And thank you for performing today also. It's absolutely magnificent.
Thank you, John, as well. I loved your performance. That was awesome. It's so nice to meet a fellow performer and connect so well. It's great.
I absolutely agree with you. I would repeat the words back to you. Thank you so much.
Lovely.
And I'm glad you two are going to connect. You're going to connect
because we have a duo to rehearse now, apparently.
Yes, you do. And we'll be watching it and listening to it here for the first time ever once you guys get this together. So,
your choice. Ladies' choice.
Done. All right. I'm going to start getting a list together.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Haley. We really appreciate it. You enjoy the rest of your evening there, and we'll see you again soon.
You're an incredible woman, Dr. Jacqueline. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Back at you. Bye-bye. Bye. So, John, as we close out this show, I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you like to perform something else before we go into the weekend?
I actually don't have anything set up to do that for you at the moment.
Well, thank you. Yes, well, it was beautiful what you sang to us earlier today. So we do have one of your visuals about your training. So share with our audience about the Skills for Life Balance online training, please.
Yeah, that's my Skills for Life Balance. So this is based on my personal experience, obviously, and that I've learned from people that really understand the human nature and consciousness and the function of the body, mind, spirit function. So in the program, it's a 10-module program, and I do it online, as Dr. Jacqueline was just saying. So if you're interested, you can call me up and I can tell you more about it then, because we don't have the time to go deeply into it now.
Thank you, John. And I'm going to spotlight you. What is the best way for people to reach out to you, and who should contact you?
Yeah, my website is www.lifebalanceportal.com. And my email is john@lifebalanceportal.com. And anybody who would like to be more confident, know how to breathe properly, to, as we were saying in the show, to manage moments that are very nerve-wracking, where normally we would want to run away and not face them. So what artists learn is how to face the fears and how to manage them. And mostly that's down to being conscious of how to breathe properly. So I can do all of those things. So it's presentation skills, relationship skills, stress management skills, whatever your interest might be, I'm available.
Thank you, John. It's always a pleasure seeing you and your handsome face and hearing your beautiful voice, and I appreciate you. So thank you again.
I really appreciate you too. And as you can tell, many people appreciate you, Dr. Jacqueline, for what you're doing. So well done. And love to your mum.
Thank you so much. I will tell her we'll be watching the show this evening after I'm finished broadcasting, and I'll let her know that you said hello.
Okay.
All right. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Enjoy the next 9 shows.
Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye, John.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, for watching or listening, whether you're on USA Global TV or Business Talk Radio. As John mentioned, we have a full agenda today, and yesterday was jam-packed as well. We actually had our Power of Listening online seminars. We had 2 seminars yesterday, and people were just raving about it. So we're going to be offering them on a weekly basis. That is the power of listening. When you think about how important it is to be able to listen, and what was coming up during the seminars was that people actually thought that they were listening, and we watched some role plays of people who were not listening, and people were able to identify and say, oh my gosh, that's kind of me. I actually have been in that position before. So if you are interested, please do reach out to me. I am a certified holistic life and career coach. I'm also a certified meditation coach and a certified yoga instructor. Thank you again for watching, and it's just great to have you here with us. Coming up today, we have the variety show starring Linda Hughes. We've got fashion, fitness, travel, and leisure. We've got so many shows. I'm not even going to go through all of them. You can go to our website, drjacqueline.com, and you can learn more there. Also, final announcement. It's finally here. I've been talking about this for a while. We have our USA Global TV brochure. It is a brochure I'm going to be sending out today to individuals who are interested, who have reached out to me. These are opportunities for you to get engaged and involved in our Talking Heads program. I did run our clip for Talking Heads. I'm going to run it again. These are people who are experts in their field. You have to have at least 5 years of experience in your preferred industry, your field, and there's some other requirements to make sure that we have the top people coming onto our platform and presenting to help make us better personally and professionally. Let's take a look at this clip, and then I'll be right back. There it is, our intro to Talking Heads. So if you're interested in being part of this wonderful program, which we will have several programs every week, please do reach out to me if you are considered to be an expert in your field. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, your evening. Thank you so much to Haley. Thank you to John. And thank you most importantly to you. We'll be back shortly with another program. Take care.